Wait, commentary material that isn't one-shot material? What kind of sorcery is this? Well, time to open PowerPoint and get to work. So for context, Top 10 Gaming is the sister channel to Most Amazing Top 10. Top 10 Gaming does top 10s but more focused on gaming. One video they made called Top 10 Dumbest Smash Bros. Characters had mixed reactions. I watched the video and saw a handful of problems. That's all the context that's important. Now onto the video.
Doubt that the Super Smash Bros. Franchise is one of the most satisfying series to play, especially if you're a diehard Nintendo fan.
There's a lot to choose from, and the games over the years have put in a lot of care in order to balance out certain characters to better fit various styles of play.
So while the newest Smash is boasting some serious overhauls in terms of all the characters' abilities, that always hasn't been the case though, with some fan favorites over the years suffering from fairly bad stats.
So today, in celebration of the brand new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate coming out, we're counting down some of the dumbest characters to have ever appeared in the series, with our aptly titled list, the top 10 dumbest Smash Bros. Characters.
So what I've gathered from this is that if a character has bad stats then they are dumb. Since this is the only criteria you mention, this will cause some issues later down the line.
And at number 10, Bowser. Bowser first debuted in the Smash franchise in Melee, having initially been axed from the original N64 title. But here's the thing, King Koopa was anything but deadly in the game. While he was immensely strong and powerful, his speed defeated any chance of that power being put to good use. He was slow as f***. On top of that, his size made him one hell of an easy target, and he was easy to edgeguard against since his falling speed was pretty darn fast as well. Luckily, Bowser is one of the characters on our list whose later iterations of the franchise make up for his poor debut, thanks to a bit of a speed boost of course.
This would have been a decent point if you had shown any actual evidence to prove that this is true. This is an issue throughout the entire video as you never show any proof of what you say and the audience has to take your points at face value, which you should avoid like the plague. Not only that, but this shows a lack of effort put into this video.
In at 9, Dr. Mario. Why is Dr. Mario a thing? Dr. Mario in the Smash franchise is essentially just Mario. When it comes to clones of other characters in the game, they all usually have their own distinct thing compared to their original. Hell, even young Link, who often gets a lot of criticism, is distinct, but Dr. Mario is literally just Mario wearing the Doctor's costume. Fans were annoyed when the character returned to the franchise in Smash 4, with many feeling that he's basically just Mario with lower accuracy, and should have just been an assist trophy instead.
Except Mario and Dr. Mario are distinct. Mario is faster but does less damage while Dr. Mario is slower and does more damage, and some of their moves are slightly altered from each other. If you want to see the differences in detail, I suggest taking a look at Raz0R13's video on the subject, link in the description. Another thing I want to bring up is the blatant double standards in this entry. You say that young Link and Link are distinct from each other, however their moves are mostly the same and have altered stats according to the Wikia, which I'll also put in the description. So Dr. Mario is not much different from young Link. If Dr. Mario isn't distinct from Mario in your eyes, then neither should young Link. I could also bring up the lack of evidence and elaboration that young Link is distinct from Link on your end, but whatever. Then there's the fact this doesn't fit with your criteria. Even if Dr. Mario is a clone of Mario, that doesn't mean he's weak. He could still be strong and have great stats. If he is a dumb character because of redundancy, then try to explain your criteria better, please.
Moving on to number 8, Rob. For starters, Rob is absolutely ridiculous. Now, in case you're out of the know, Rob, aka Robotic Operating Buddy, was a novelty accessory made in 1985 for the NES. It had a super short lifespan and only supported 2 games. But somehow, it's managed to wiggle its way into other Nintendo games as a reference or an Easter egg, which at times has actually been pretty neat. Little robot dude even has his own amiibo. And the fact that he's an unlockable character in the Smash titles is pretty cool too, all things considered. But let's be real for a second, folks. There is no way in hell that if you were to pin Rob up against most of the other characters in Smash, that he would roll away in one piece. No way in hell. Perhaps that's why Rob's fanbase likes him so much. Funny enough, he plays a major role in Brawl's adventure mode, the Subspace Emissary, which was pretty hilariously wonderful, but also a lot of fans of the series did not like it.
So Rob is weak because you said so? GG 10 out of 10 video. In all seriousness, this is your worst entry, since at least for the others you explained why the character was weak, but here, you just say it is weak just because.
Zelda. Princess Zelda is a character who has had a bit of a rough time over the years with how she's been crafted in Smash. For starters, her appearance in Brawl was lackluster. Sure, the idea of long-range magical attacks is great in theory, but in practice, Zelda's attacks were meh. She's very light, meaning her falling speed is pretty slow, which opens her up as a target for aerial attacks and combos. Her recovery move also sucked. It was a teleportation move that would send you across the stage in the direction that you were pointing your joystick, but it was quite unreliable with the location of Zelda's teleportation landing all over the place, and often causing her to fall off the stage altogether. Then, in the 3D Smash game, because of hardware limitations, she was unable to transform into Sheik, which is arguably her character's most redeemable trait in the franchise. Other characters lost their transformation abilities as well, but for Zelda that loss was the nail in the coffin for her character, as many players were concerned.
Hey Top 10 Gaming, there's this little thing called a down button, so if a character is lightweight, you can make them fall faster. Shocking, right? Anyways, I could get on your case for a lack of elaboration on how Zelda's moves are met, but whatever. However, this entry will be important later in this video.
And at number 6, Link. Link has come a long way since his first iteration in the Smash Bros. Series. So of course, that is the Link that we're talking about today on our list, the N64 Smash. Link has always had some great long-range attacks, including his boomerangs, his bow, and his bombs. But in the N64 Smash, he was real slow. Meaning, sure, he was great to use from a distance, but the second that an enemy got up close and personal, players would have a lot of difficulty using him. The funny thing is, the European release of the N64 Smash actually had to alter his character to make him faster because of this. That's saying a lot.
It's interesting how your only complaint towards Link is his speed, yet he's number 6 on this list when your only complaint towards Bowser was his speed and he's number 10. Stuff like this makes this list confusing and nonsensical.
At 3, Ness. Ness, who is from the Mother, aka Earthbound series, is making another appearance in Switch Smash game, and many are hoping that the issue with him and Lucas, who's also from the same series, will continue to have a solid wide range of psionic abilities, which is great. But in the N64 Smash, Ness, and Lucas for that matter, had a really annoying recovery move. Their recovery move froze them mid-air while players had to guide a ball of energy from their heads to their bodies. Done successfully, the move could also be advantageous, but if not, it made Ness incredibly unreliable, an easy target, and would likely cause you way more damage if you couldn't pull it off. Sure, practice makes perfect, but when you could choose from a slew of other more reliable characters, why bother with poor little Ness in the first place?
Where do I begin with this? First of all, why is Ness at number 3 for an unreliable recovery move, but Zelda is at number 7 when you guys got on her case for having an unreliable recovery move and other things? Second of all, if an unreliable recovery move can ruin a character in your eyes, then this puts into question how Sheik is a saving grace for Zelda. Need I remind you that Sheik's recovery is the same as Zelda, which you guys stated was bad? So if Sheik's recovery is bad and bad recovery equals bad character, then Sheik by your own admission isn't a saving grace from Zelda. There is just so much confusion in this one entry. Since there's nothing else I haven't already said for the rest of the video, I'll go to final thoughts. For a video titled The Top 10 Dumbest Smash Bros. Characters, this was probably the dumbest list I've ever seen. You guys sometimes don't elaborate on your points, never show actual proof for your entries, and your placements can be confusing at times. You guys need to put in more effort into these top 10 lists, or else your like to dislike ratio won't look pretty.